compete with the big name agencies out there, which are CARD, Autism Partnership, ACEs are more of your clinical setting, like the well-known agencies out there in Southern California right now.
Okay. So what we want to do, we put together a few questions just to answer our questions, and then if you want to ask us anything.
Okay.
But we have a few questions. Basically, what is your mission statement, and what is your company geared towards?
Our company is geared towards working with children with autism, but we also take children with other disabilities. I know right now we have a Downs client. We have another kiddo that's in a wheelchair that, I forget the diagnosis that she has. I can't think of her diagnosis, but she doesn't have any language. She doesn't have any motor ability.
It's not like multiple sclerosis?
No, it's a name I've never heard of.
So you're not just doing an autistic?
We used to be just autistic, and now we're starting to branch out. Yeah.
Okay.
But as for our mission statement,
is that like to sort of compete? Or
it's
kind of an attempt to expand a little more?
It's to expand, just because the way budget cuts are going. I mean, I don't know why Kim's doing it, but kind of how I see it as more just to give us more business, because there are a lot of companies out there. Budget cuts. We're not getting school district clients anymore. Now we're getting mostly regional center kids. We also take kids through private pay, so parents would pay us privately, but it's really expensive in today's economy. It's not really happening. So most of our cases right now are through regional center. So we're getting a lot more of the high behavior kids. And with the regional center, which is kind of neat and kind of a downside to it also, is that it takes a lot of parent participation. So parents have to be actively involved in their sessions and in therapy, whereas with school district cases, parents would kind of drop off the kid like, okay, you take care of my kid. You fix my kid and bring him back to me. Whereas now with regional center, their goal is that parents will learn what we do with the kids and that parents will be able to implement it themselves. So that way they can step back out and the parents have the tools to raise their kids.
The regional center, is that what is that?
It's a regional center of Orange County. It's a state-funded program that they do all special needs. So like foster care is through like regional center. Like after school daycare, like for special needs, it's regional center type of things.
So like a state-run sort of thing?
It's state-run, yeah. And it's each county has its own branch to it.
All right.
And then within Orange County, I believe there's like 6 different offices. I know there's one off of...
And you just work with one of them? Or?
They contract us. So
Okay.
we're vendor through regional center. So kind of how it goes, regional center has a case and they look at it, okay, I'm going to send it to this agency.
All right.
So we get referred to. And we don't take, just because we're referred from regional center for cases, we don't always take everyone. We kind of look at each case and kind of see if it's a fit for our company. So even though we're expanding, we have really high behavior kids. We don't take like super severe kids just because I personally wouldn't want to work with that. And so like if somebody, like another supervisor wanted to, then, we would take them on. But for the most part, we don't really work with those kind of kids.
Do you guys have a specific mission statement or just something that you strive towards as a company just to help kids? Or
Quite honestly, I don't know.
I think it's on the website.
It's on the website. I'm looking.
Do you want me to... And you can always say, I don't know, because that's good, because then we have stuff to ask him.
Yeah, that I don't know what our mission statement is.
And then I also started, it said kind of on the website that Kim started it because...
I have, let me see. I bring like pamphlets I grabbed from my office. This is what we give parents. So this is kind of, this is a description of our services. And this is Kim's statement of experience, kind of what she's all about is in there. I don't know if that helps you guys. And this is just kind of a brief little
outline of what you guys do.
Yeah.
You said you don't work with schools as much now? Or?
Not as much. I have one client that I see. I'm not the supervisor for the case, but I'm a therapist on it, so I'm actually in the school setting. Like I was there today, I go Monday and Tuesday, and I shadow a kid in high school. He's a freshman, so I go with him from his classes.
Is
It
that,
kind
you
of
like
works.
that? Is that good?
I actually do. It's
Yeah.
really fun. I love being in the school setting. I like being more natural, being out in the community with our kiddos versus sitting in a room. Okay, touch nose, touch eyes,
Because the big
stand
focus,
up.
it seems like the big focus of what you guys are trying to do is be more trying to get the autistic kids to be able to function in the community and society as just a do regular
Yeah,
things.
our goal is
rather-
for them to be mainstream.
So like if in a school setting you're sort of around that. So it seems like it helps. Whether if you do like this session, is this just like one-on-one, or do you have like different group type settings?
This is one of our services that we're starting right now in our company. It's a Mommy and Me. It's a 4-week program. It's for toddlers. It's for at-risk kids. So kids who don't have a diagnosis, parents, they're like, okay, my kid is not talking, my kid's not playing, my kid stims. I don't know what to do with my kid, but they're not qualifying for services. They don't have a diagnosis. They're not severe enough to get in home. So what we're starting is, I'm actually starting this program. It's to teach parents, okay, how can you play with your kid? How can you work on these academic goals with your kid in a really natural, playful way? Because a lot of parents, you find, they just don't know what to do with their kids. Like, my kid doesn't want to take off his diaper. What do I do? Like, just simple, basic questions like that.
What's the age group for Mommy and Me?
Toddlers.
Okay. And then what do you do on like a day-to-day basis? Like when you go to the school or what you normally do?
I normally do, days that I go to school, I'll go into the school, shadow the kid, I just really make sure I follow him, make sure he's staying on task, make sure he's getting to his classes okay. My kiddo, for example, he's a high-functioning kid, so he can interact, he can talk, he can have a conversation. He tends to talk about immature things. So he'll be 16 in November next month, and he likes to talk about like Cars movie or whatever like the new animated Disney movies are. Like that's what he likes, and that's what he wants to talk about with his peers. And it's like
Probably like elementary level.
yeah,
stuff
I'm like
for the
no,
most part,
like your
yeah.
friends don't want to talk. That's not cool.
Yeah.
So we work with him like what's cool, what's not cool. I was talking to him yesterday about what he wants to do for his birthday. He wants to get a jumpy house. And I'm like, dude, is that cool?
Bouncy castle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, yeah, as an adult,
He's like, I think that's cool.
As an adult,
I mean-
we think that's cool, but as like
As a
7th
16-year-old.
grader or like a 17-year-old.
Well, you said a freshman, so and you said
Freshman,
that he's
yeah.
16. He's gonna be 16, so that's
Yeah.
even still like 2 years older than the average freshman.
Freshman, yeah.
So he's a little bit older anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like yeah, freshmen don't,
But
Does
you're
he
like
kind of understand it or no?
he gets it, but he's in a dual household or shared household, I should say. Half the time he's with mom, half the time he's with dad. When
He
he's
doesn't-
with dad, he gets to do whatever he wants. His big thing right now, and I'm really working with him on changing this, is he likes to take a video recorder and he likes to tape. He YouTubes his videos and he tape records his video on his tape recorder. And then he was talking to he was sitting at the lunch table the other day at school, and he was talking to some kid about this. It's my junior, and I'm like, oh my god, this kid's, you already are off. Now this kid's thinking, who the heck am I sitting with? So I'm like, that's cool if you're really into making movies, that's awesome. So now it's teaching him, that's what you want to do. Now what's in a more appropriate thing to videotape?
What's his diagnosis?
He's autistic.
Just what type? Just
You'll get like severe,
Yeah.
mild. He's labeled high functioning because he's really high functioning. But when he was little, he was like a terror. I heard because this kid has been with Kim since she started the company. So she's worked with him since he was 3. He was really severe, lots of stim. He still stims at home. It's self-stimulatory behavior. It's something that these kids do to themselves. Like, it's an innate thing that they do to release some sort of pleasure within them. Some kids hand flap. They'll do it to self-soothe. They'll do it just for sensory. They just kind of do it. And he calls it scatting. He takes his hands and he, like, thrashes his hands around and he screams. I've seen that behavior. I've worked with him 3 years now. I've seen that behavior once. He's controlled it so much that when he's in school, he goes to school, then he goes to Boys and Girls Club. So from 8 until like 6 o'clock at night, he controls himself. And then as soon as he gets home, he goes, let's loose. He can't control it anymore. He just has to get it all out of his system.
So he has different methods to manage his stress. Mm-hmm. So that would be like a big.
That's what we teach. We teach stress management to kids. It's like with the little guys, we have to teach them how to identify what they're feeling. So we teach them emotions, like, oh, you're feeling happy, you're feeling sad. And then we teach them calming strategies. So, like if you're silly, what can you do to calm yourself? So what I do is in a calm state, I'll teach them different self-soothing techniques. And each self-soothing technique is different to each kid.